Hello and welcome to TMI with Aldous Tyler, a special web-only video edition here for Friday, the 6th of December, 2024. Now, I wanted to dive in for just a moment to the subject of tariffs. I've spoken about it on the radio program, of course, TMI with Aldous Tyler's radio program. But rather than just hear it from somebody like myself or any other socialist, progressive, even Democrat perspectives on it, where you're like, well, of course they're against it. They hate Trump. Sometimes the best place you can get solid information on just how bad a policy is going to be is by reading the industry newsletters devoted to the industries that are going to be most affected by the policy. Now, tariffs are a strain on the supply chain. And interestingly enough, in Chicago, just a few miles south of here, there is the Association for Supply Chain Management, the ASCM. And right there at ascm.org in today's newsletter, they start off saying, as we head into the winter season here in Chicago, the weather is turning colder and the days darker. Holiday lights help warm things up a bit, if only mentally, but a hot cup of coffee remains a winter essential for many. Unfortunately, the cost of our beloved brew is going through the roof. That's right. This right here is how I keep on top of the news for you. They continue saying Arabica prices have hit their highest level since 1977 as concerns grow about tight global supplies. And that's, they're quoting the Wall Street Journal there on that. They note that extended drought and extreme temperatures in powerhouse coffee grower Brazil are causing the higher prices and low production. Meanwhile, more exports are reducing stockpiles. In fact, poor weather conditions have been plaguing Brazil for 4 years. So high coffee prices are needed to rationalize a further supply response. On the bright side, other nations have been boosting their coffee production in recent years, and that trend is likely to continue. But here's the interesting part when it comes to tariffs. No matter how much coffee is grown, soaring prices will be inevitable if the United States levies new tariffs of 25% on Mexican and Canadian goods with an additional 10% on Chinese merchandise, as President-elect Trump has promised to do. Harvard Business Review cites research on the effects of increased tariffs during Trump's first term. By and large, American importers and, to a lesser extent, American consumers paid for the tariffs set during Trump's first term. Washing machines, for example, saw a 20% price increase. The trade war diminished U.S. economic well-being by 3% based on how tariffs affected firms' cash flow. And those, by the way, were relatively small tariffs compared to what he's proposing right now. Despite the intentions of the tariffs at the time, manufacturing did not return to the United States. This is largely because the importers moved sourcing to other countries like Vietnam, rather than reshoring production. Also, there were few U.S. factories with idle capacity that could easily replace Chinese imports. So, again, what this newsletter is telling us, and this is them talking to their own people, the people who manage supply chains, right? What they're saying, straight out, without any compunction at all, is, look, Trump said he was going to bring jobs back to America by putting tariffs on everything. Well, it didn't happen the first time he did it. Prices just went up on goods. And it didn't happen specifically because we don't make anything here anymore. And even if we were able to try to put some factories up into production, we just don't have we don't have the labor pool necessary right now. Basically speaking, the cow left the barn on that one. The door was wide open back in the 90s with NAFTA and other things, which actually Ross Perot warned us about. But the point is, America used to make things, a lot of things. We used to make things for the entire world. We used to export so much manufactured goods. And well, we don't anymore, which means putting tariffs on things coming in is going to hurt us terribly when it comes to our ability to get things at a price that is anywhere near reasonable, right? Now, the newsletter notes that many companies are already working to prevent severe price jumps as much as they can. How are they doing it? Well, home products retailer Williams-Sonoma is prepared to reduce its exports to China if tariffs increase, and has mapped out a category-by-category plan to reduce sourcing from China as well. Now, that's according to a industry magazine called Supply Chain Dive. The company's supply chain is vertically integrated, right? 90% of the products are exclusive and proprietary with its own sourcing operations in Williams-Sonoma. So, notably, by the way, in case you're like, wow, Williams-Sonoma, why are we talking about them? Well, they're the 11th largest container importer in the United States. You probably didn't know that. That gives the company enormous leverage in its partnerships and the scale and strategy to pivot. Now, that's an interesting thing right there. But one of the things is that there's many people who aren't going to be able to use some of those same benefits that Williams-Sonoma can lay claim to. So how does the newsletter here recommend you protect your supply chain from a tariff-related supply chain crisis? Well, they say, first of all, stockpile inventory. That means import products now before tariffs go into effect. Okay, but remember, that's money you were expecting to spend in 2025. That was a first, second, third, heck, even fourth quarter 2025 problem that you are now making a last quarter 2024 problem. You need to make this year's budget cover expenditures you were going to pay for next year. That's a problem, because where are you getting the money? Well, where do you think you're going to get the money? You might have even heard that some people have found that their employers have cut their Christmas bonuses. Sorry, no holiday bonus for you. We need that money to buy stuff now that we were going to import next year. But we can't wait because tariffs. Yeah. Oh, or how about this? Maybe we don't need all these people in our employ. Right. If you're an employee right now, well, frankly, the money they're paying you, they might feel is better spent on importing now pre-tariff. Sorry, didn't mean to cut your job out from under you right here during the holidays. But we need the materials in before Trump causes everything to go crazy. Now, of course, the other suggestions to diversify, look for sourcing and production outside of China, Canada, and Mexico. Here's the thing. Trump isn't just stopping with China, Canada, and Mexico. There have been threats of tariffs for products made in the EU. That's a lot of countries. I'm sure he has no problem tariffing products coming from anywhere else if it suits him for any reason. Got to be hard to find a safe manufacturing haven. Another one here, and now this is the third point. Manage financial impact. As it says, there may not be anything you can do as a supply chain manager to avoid paying high tariffs on some goods. But look for other places to save money. You can improve operational efficiencies, renegotiate contracts, adjust pricing strategies. If you've ever been laid off in the last 20, 30 years, you've seen phrases like that before. You probably have. It's probably been right there on your pink slip. Oh, we're sorry. This has nothing to do with your job performance. You were doing fine. But we have to improve operational efficiency, so we have to let you go. We are renegotiating contracts, so we know that you were supposed to get a raise right now, but we're renegotiating your contract because we can't afford it. We have to bring imports in. We have to find ways to save money so we don't lose customers by raising our prices through the roof. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the left wing, right? This is the industry newsletter for supply chain managers, the Association for Supply Chain Management newsletter, right there on their website, ascm.org. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Keith Olbermann's word for it. Don't take J.T. Chapman's word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it that you think might be biased against Trump. I assure you, the Association for Supply Chain Management would never have put out this newsletter in any way that would point the finger right at Trump and go, he's screwing it up for us. Did you notice the way they worded things? Didn't touch that. They are not anti-Trump, but they are in charge of trying to make sure that supply chains don't get completely messed up by what Trump's doing. And they're saying in plain language all of the things that are going to happen, including losing an affordable cup of coffee. Thank you for watching TMI with Aldous Tyler. We'll be back later.